I feel like we need to do a little discussion and like a little wrap talk. I feel like we need to talk about all the books that I've read so far. So I just want to do a little vlog and kind of catch up and just do a little like weekend with me, because I feel like I haven't vlogged in a minute, and I have been on vacation all week and I just haven't really like filmed that much. I filmed one video I think on my vacation, but I just want to talk to you guys a little bit. I'm bored and I'm like at that point where like my vacation is almost over. I have tomorrow is my last day of vacation. I'm so sad, but it'll be fine. I feel like it is very nice and like I would love to just like always be able to stay at home, but I feel like because I know that my vacation's almost over, I'm like just sad and I don't want to do anything, even though like usually when I'm at work I'm like, oh, there's all these things that I want to do. So I'm just gonna relax and just kind of like let myself have this time, because I know once I get back into a routine with like work, like once I know that like this right now is just like my whatever time, like I'm just chilling, I'm hanging out with family, I'm like doing kind of like whatever just to like relax. But I know once I get back to work I will be back into a better routine, and I've really just been trying to be better about like sticking to habits. So I know that like it will be a little bit harder to do once I'm back to work, but also I'm excited to get back to like moving a lot. I feel like that's the one thing that I've been missing this week, is that like I'm constantly moving when I'm at work. I'm getting a lot of exercise, I'm getting a lot of steps, and I feel good this week. I've been working out like every single day. I think I only missed one day, but I was literally out of town all day like on a trip, so I obviously didn't really have time to work out, and that's fine. Like it was so fun and we walked around a lot, so I'm not like mad about it. I had a little bit of a lazier day yesterday, but I still did a workout. But anyway, I still feel like I've been very active and I feel good, but I haven't been like out and about. I haven't, you know, I've been at my house a lot, which is still very nice, but I feel like I get in my head a lot when I'm at home. Like I'm like, oh, I should be doing this and I should be doing this. I should be doing all these things because I'm not busy. So then I get very overwhelmed by it. So I'm just trying to like chill and be like, you know what? You don't get vacation time all the time, and you especially don't get to just like hang out at home and do whatever I want to do. If I want to be lazy and watch movies and play video games and do whatever, read books, that's perfectly fine. And I've actually already read 7 books this year, so I kind of wanted to do like a little bit of a bookish update and just kind of update on what's been going on with me and everything. I think I kind of want to go to like a coffee shop today and just kind of sit. It's kind of out of my comfort zone. I don't know why, but I always get super anxious about the thought of like going out and like sitting in a coffee shop. It could be because I live in a small town and I know a lot of people, so like there's risk of seeing people, and I've just kind of been in like a little bit of a hermit mode, like not fully, because I was just on a trip like 2 days ago and I was out and about with people, but I don't know, I've just been in like a weird like just kind of like feeling socially anxious about doing it. But then I'm like, that's when I know that like I need to get out of the house. I need to like go out and like drive around and like be around people. So yeah, I had a super chill day yesterday. I was literally like watching TV and reading books and literally spent the whole day inside. I don't think I stepped outside once yesterday. So I'm excited to just get out and like, I'm excited to have a little bit of a productive day, weekend, but also a little bit chill. So I want to talk about what I've read so far. It is currently the 11th of January and I've already read 7 books, almost 8. I'm almost done with one book, but I just didn't have time to finish it. I think I'm like 70-ish% through. So I definitely want to finish that one today. I'm not really in the mood to read it for some reason, but I want to finish it because I want to like finish that book before I start a bunch of other ones and forget what's going on. So I want to do a little update. So first of all, I also did hang up my vision boards, and for some reason stuff is like starting to fall off of it, so I need to fix it up a little bit. But I didn't do tacks, I did tape, so that's why they're like kind of falling apart. But I put my vision boards up, so super cute. This was actually the first book that I read for the year. I had already started it, so I was like halfway through it and I finished it. This book was pretty good. I want to say I gave it like 3 stars. I definitely just thought that I would enjoy this a lot more because I do love books that are very character development based, or even books that like just follow, like, even if they don't have a lot of like plot, they just like have a good storyline, they have good characters. And I just wasn't obsessed with this one. Like, I feel like a lot of the characters were just like not necessary. So I don't know, I really thought that I would like this author's writing a lot more, and I don't know, I think I might continue the series, but I'm really not sure. It's kind of 50-50 for me right now. And then I also read For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. This one was, I felt like I would like it, but I wasn't sure if it would be a little bit more like dark fantasy than I was wanting, or like if the magic building would be different than I would like. But I actually really enjoyed this one, thoroughly enjoyed this one. I think it was like a 4.5 for me. It wasn't quite a 5 stars, but I really liked this one, and I'm excited to read the second book. I have just really never heard anyone talk about this book, but I really liked it, so I'm glad I read that one. And then I also read a couple other books, but this was one that I just read the other day that was a library book. That is Little Rat by Akwek Emezi. This one was really good. Her writing style is very, it's very different. I've read 2 other books by her and then this one, and her writing style is very different. It's very like deep, and I really like her writing. I really enjoy it. Freshwater, I want to say, was her debut novel, and I read that one. That was the second book I read by her, but the first book I read, I can't even remember what it's called. I just said it in here. The first book I read by her was You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty, and that book was so good. I think that still stands as my favorite book of hers. But this one had so much character development and just such a good plotline, storyline. I just highly recommend this one. It definitely is, I would say, like 18 plus probably, and it has some very, I would say, check trigger warnings maybe, because there are a lot of very touchy subjects in this book, but I enjoyed this one myself. I think I gave it like 3 or 4 stars. And Lee, this one was really good. I really liked this one. It's about a girl and her brother who are living in this East Oakland apartment complex. They're very young. They're like, I want to say he's like 18, 19 years old. She's 17, and they are just kind of scraping by to live together in this apartment because neither of their parents are, like, I think their mom went to prison, and their dad, I want to say their dad died, their mother is in prison, and they're just kind of trying to take care of each other and like scrape by to afford rent because their rent's going up, and they're just kind of struggling to get by. And her brother is kind of like, he just has this dream of becoming a rapper, and he's like very focused on like, I need to make my music, I don't have time for a job. And he just kind of is like immature in the way that like he just doesn't really think about the fact that like they need money to survive, and like he just thinks that he's just focused on getting to his dream. So she kind of has to put in the work to make sure and be responsible and make sure that they have enough money for where they live. She's also kind of taking care of their neighbor's son who's 9 years old, and she just kind of wants him to grow up and have a better life than her. And his mom is very flighty and like out of the picture and not very not really taking care of him very well. So she kind of takes on that role of just like stepping in and like helping him out and being there for him. So there's kind of that aspect. And then also she ends up going out in the streets at night and sleeping with men for money, and she gets very wrapped up with like some police, she gets very wrapped up in like some bad things. So I would say check trigger warnings for this one as well. I've been reading some very like dark topic books, but I think it is such a good book and so relevant for some people that even like the author's note, she was saying that like something similar had happened that she had heard about, and just being aware of the topic and knowing what other people go through, even if it's not something that you necessarily know or can relate to, really good to read about and be aware of, even if it's not something that you know about or that you're, you know, is happening around you. But just being aware of reading about someone else's perspective. So I think this was a very interesting book and I really liked it. And then also the other day when I was on the train, I was reading One Dark Window on my Kindle, and that is the book that I'm 70% through right now, and I am almost done with it, so I want to finish it. I'm liking it quite a bit. I think that it's interesting so far. I'm not quite seeing the hype necessarily that I feel like everyone else is. I feel like I'm just kind of like in the middle about it. Like I like it, but it's probably gonna be like a 3 or 3.5 star for me. I don't know for sure. I'm still 70% through. It could get better. But I am enjoying it. So I'm going to continue reading it. And I'm like pretty sure I will continue the series after the first book. But I usually do. It might just take me a while. But I am really enjoying it. And I'm looking forward to finishing that book today. So that's kind of my plan for today. I have another book that I kind of started. I don't know if I'm going to read it though, because I'm not really enjoying it. This was the other library book I got, and it is called Late Migrations by Margaret Rankle. This is like little short essays from this author, and I don't know, I just kind of thought they would be different. I'm just not, I don't know, I don't think it's necessarily for me. Her writing is really good. I just don't think it's something that I wouldn't gravitate towards necessarily. I kind of thought that the writing style was going to be different, and that's okay. I might end up reading it. I might not. I'm kind of just in between right now, but I was kind of in like a reading mood to like, I didn't want to put myself in a slump by trying to force myself to read this one, because I was just kind of in the mood to read something that's more like the books I've been reading, like a little bit, not necessarily like lighter topics, but just something that I will be immersed into more. I literally read Nightcrawling yesterday. I read this book, the whole book, yesterday, so I was really into that one. And then another book, this is actually a reread for me, but it is In the After by Demetria Lunetta. This book, I have been obsessed with. This book, when I first read it in like probably 2016, 2017, I would say around then, I loved it. I was obsessed with it. I can't remember if I read it once or twice, but it's a duology, and I never hear people talk about this book, and I know it's kind of old. I don't even remember when it came out. Let me look. 2013. So I know this book is old, and that could be why people don't really talk about it, but I loved this book when it came out. And I've just been recently thinking about it, and I'm like, I really want to reread that book and see if I like it. And I thought about buying the duology, but then I was like, you know what, let me just get it from the library, and if I really like it and I want to have it, like to own it, then I'll buy it. But I don't know, I've just really been in like a mood to reread these old books that like I was obsessed with, like the Mara Dyer trilogy. I loved those books, and I definitely reread those multiple times, like even just after I had read it, but I haven't read them in a long time, and I really want to read them. I have the third book. I had thrifted it, but I don't have the first or second one, so I need to purchase those, because those are definitely ones that I want to own. But I know that those were popular back in the day, like when I read them, but a lot of these books are just older, but I love them. And I feel like people like so much these days, like everyone just reads newer books and they don't really go back and read like books that came out a long time ago. I'm like, no guys, like you need to. I don't know. I love these books. This book is a dystopian novel about a girl who, they're like attacked by they don't really know what they are, but she ends up going to this like colony that is like what's the word? It's a former government research compound, and she ends up living with these people, and it feels very safe, and like it's like very, you know, it feels very safe, and then it ends up coming out that it's kind of shady and some shady stuff about the place, and that they're maybe not as safe there. And I just love like dystopian books, like The Fifth Wave. I loved that book and that movie, especially the movie. Like Hunger Games, Divergent, like the dystopian stuff. My favorite kind of fantasy, hands down. I love dystopian so much. So I think that's why I was like so obsessed with this book. But I highly recommend if you haven't read it. It is young adult. It feels very young adult, and I was a young adult when I read it, so that's why I kind of want to like just check it out from the library and reread it, just to make sure that I'm still like, you know, it might not be for me anymore, but that's okay. So I've been wanting to reread this one, and that's what I'm going to do today. I think I'm going to try and read this whole one, because it is a bigger book, but it's really also like bigger font, and it's just kind of like that quintessential like 2010s YA style, you know. So that's my plan for today. I just want to get a lot of reading done and maybe go take my books back to the library, take this one to a coffee shop, and just read for a little bit. And that's kind of my vibe. So I may end up staying home. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I definitely want to get a lot of reading done and just kind of clean my house, do my workout, and that's the vibe, the end of vacation vibe. It's kind of sad, but I'm trying to stay in good spirits because every time that it's my last day or the day before my last day of my vacation, I get really sad because I know that I have to go back to work and it just feels really weird. I get in like a weird funk about it and I always just feel sad on my last day. And I don't want to. I want to stay productive. I want to do the things that I want to do and I'm not gonna let it put me down this time. So this is going to be my PSA to give books a second chance if you are struggling a little bit in the first part of it, to enjoy it, because I was ready to be like, no, this book just isn't my style and I just don't want to read it. But I decided to give it another shot and I'm actually enjoying it. So I am on page 69 now. And I've also just been watching This Is Us while I had some breakfast and just kind of chilling. But I'm just kind of reading this book a little bit. I think I am going to go to the coffee shop in a little bit here. I don't want to wait too long because it is going to be getting dark. I don't know. I might go for a walk and then go to the coffee shop. I haven't decided yet because I want to sit and read, but I did kind of want to go for a walk today, so I might do that before. I haven't decided yet. As you can tell, I'm a very indecisive person. My plans are just kind of always like I procrastinate them. So that's fun, but I think I'm just going to read a little bit longer and then I will grab my book and go to the coffee, and then I'll grab my books, go to the coffee shop and chill there for a little bit. I might do a little bit of editing, but I kind of just wanted to go and sit somewhere and read, just kind of get out of my house. So that's the vibe. Hello, it's my babies. Oh my goodness. I just got home. I didn't really record in the coffee shop because I forgot how terrible the lighting is in there. Like, I could hardly read in there. It was so dark. But it's okay. I kind of sat in like a dark corner anyway. I don't really know why I sat there, but it felt weird moving. And also, like, when I'm in a coffee shop, I want to sit in a corner. I don't want to be like around a bunch of people, you know. I just want to be doing my own thing. So I ended up just sitting in the little corner part and I journaled, and then I did a little bit of my stuff in my planner, edited some pictures and stuff to put on Instagram, and I read a little bit of my book. I started Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. I've heard really good things about the book. As I started it, I want to say I got like 5 chapters in. It was pretty good. Not sure if it's really my vibe. But I did finish that other book that I was reading earlier, The Late Migrations. It was like a little short essay, so it really didn't take me that long to read. But I read that earlier when you guys saw me reading. I pretty much read that and finished it all in one sitting. It was a pretty breezy read. I don't know how I'm feeling about Tom Lake right now. I might sit down for a little bit and read that one. But if you guys watched my January TBR video, that was the book that I picked to read in public. So I did that. I don't know if I'm going to read it, the whole thing, in public because I'm at home now and I might end up reading some more at home. But right now, I think I'm going to change into, I want to change into comfy clothes, but I'm going to change into some workout clothes and do a little at-home workout. I do my like ab routine and stuff, or I've gotten into the routine of it while I'm on vacation, of doing my ab routine in the morning, just because it's like an everyday program type thing. I'm doing one by Lily Sabry, I think that's her name. on YouTube, and then I'm also doing one by Chloe Ting. I used to do Chloe Ting videos all the time. I love her workouts, so I've been doing one of each of those videos. They're like 10 minutes long. It really doesn't take that much time, but you feel it, especially the Lily one. Like, oh my gosh, because she does Pilates, especially the Lily one, because it's Pilates. That one is so tough on your core, and I love it. But I've been doing 2 of those each morning, and I'm probably not going to stay consistent with doing it in the morning, but I'm hoping. No, I'm not hoping. I know I'm going to stay consistent with it. I don't know if I'll do it in the morning, because if I work super early, I don't know how realistic that is. But as of right now, I'm currently working like more closes than I am opens, which is not ideal for me at all, but we're just in a really weird spot at work, so it's what I have to do as a manager. I don't really get to like make that decision. I just have to work what they tell me to work. So yeah, I am going to just enjoy my night for a little bit. I'm going to do a quick little workout, and then when Matt gets off work in like 2 hours, we're going to go to the gym. But I think I want to do my workout at home, and then I'm going to do like cardio at the gym on one of the machines. I might end up doing some arms, but I think I'm going to do some legs at home, because I actually did like my leg split that I usually do at the gym. I did at home. The only thing that kind of sucks is that I can't do as heavy of weights. I would just have to do like, I only have like a heavier set for like a single arm weight. So anyway, you guys don't care about this, but I am going to do a quick little workout, and then I'll go to the gym for my cardio portion. I took a short walk before I went to the coffee shop, but it was like super duper short, and I want to stay active. I'm a very I'm a very active person. If I sit too long, I will get down on myself. I will feel like crap. So I need to be doing something. And it's also winter, so I feel like if I'm not moving, I will get very down, because it's very dreary and it's very cold, and I can't go outside and walk a lot. Like I tried to walk outside earlier, and it was so cold, and I wasn't wearing the right outfit because I didn't know I was going to go on a walk. So, yeah, it's just, winter is just, I love it and I hate it. Like, it's kind of nice sometimes, but also like the ground is snowy. So even if I did want to walk outside in the cold, it's so hard to walk. Like, you have to have really good boots on. Even then, you have to like walk very carefully because it's icy and snowy in patches, and it's just not ideal right now. So as of right now, I am going to do my cardio at the gym, and that's fine, because honestly, that's when I get a lot of my reading done, because I'm just there. I have nothing else to do. I don't like to be on my phone when I'm on the treadmill, and sometimes I don't even like reading on the treadmill, only because I get my vision. I've been dealing with blurry vision recently, and I've also been dealing with I like have a hard time balancing when I'm focusing on my book, or like when I'm looking at my book, I have a hard time balancing on the treadmill, so I have to like hold on to the treadmill, or if I don't, I will literally fly off that thing. So anyway, you guys don't care about any of this. I look almost exactly the same except for the outfit, but it is actually the next day. It is Sunday the 12th, and I just got ready. I haven't done too much this morning. I did my ab workouts like I told you guys about this morning. I woke up at like 8 something. I don't know. That's kind of been my routine this vacation, which sleeping in more than I want to, but it's fine. And I listened to my sermon. I don't have a church that I go to in my town, so I listen to online sermons just recently, actually, like the past couple months maybe. And I've gotten back into going to church, kind of, in a way. And I am so happy about it. I love the church I listen to. I actually discovered them on a podcast I listen to, and I love it. It is the Different Church. I think they're based in Texas, and the pastor is Tyler Durbin. I actually first listened to his story on the We're All Insane podcast, hosted by Devora. If you guys know the podcast, it's on Spotify. It's basically just a bunch of people talk about their trauma and their story, whatever it's about, their childhood trauma or something they've been through. I don't know why, I just really like her podcast, and then she gives a platform to people to talk about things. But he went on her podcast and kind of told his story, and then I was like, you know what, I've been feeling called upon to go back to church, and I don't have a church near me that I am interested in going to. I've been to churches in my town. It's not for me. So I felt called to listen to this church's sermons, and I love it. I am obsessed. So I've been listening every Sunday morning on Spotify. Anyway, that's what I did this morning while I got ready, and then I had my AirPods in while I was listening because I was also like cleaning a little bit this morning, and I realized when I went to go put them back in my case that I had set them right up here, and my husband thought that they were his and he took them to work. So then I went and found his AirPods, and I texted him and I was like, okay, I'm gonna come drop them off and get my case because I had my AirPods in, so I have my AirPods, but I just don't have a way to put them away. So that's the plan right now. Sorry, I'm like running around doing a million things while I'm talking. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update because I did do some reading last night. I finished the book I was talking about. I don't think I filmed it all after Matt got home. I did my little workout and I edited my vlog last night. This vlog, actually. I edited the part that I had already filmed, and then I went to the gym and I took a shower, and I did finish my reading on the treadmill last night. So I finished One Dark Window. I want to say I gave it like 3.5 stars. It wasn't my favorite. It might be more like a 3-star. I'm not quite decided yet. I haven't logged it, but I enjoyed it. It just maybe wasn't my favorite fantasy book, but I'm still interested in continuing the series and seeing what else is going to go on in the book. About to head out and go take in those AirPods, and then I can't decide if I want to go to the gym now or wait until later because my husband is going to go later, so I might just wait. I'm kind of feeling like I could maybe go to the gym for a little bit, but I might just end up waiting. I don't know. I kind of do just kind of want to have a chill day. I need to clean a little bit around my house and stuff, so I might just run my errands really quick and then come home and chill for a little bit. I haven't decided yet, but guys, I'm actually so sad. It's like so bright outside. It looks so nice, but it's like it's not too cold, but it's still a little bit cold, and it makes me like, it reminds me of spring, and it makes me want to be outside, but it's not like that nice. And this morning I told you guys I was thinking about going to the gym. I went to the gym and I read quite a bit of Tom Lake, and then I came home and I just finished it right now. I've been reading it for probably like 30-40 minutes. I also stopped after the gym and got a Dunkin', so I've been sipping on this. Just finished this right now. This book was like a 3-star for me. It was pretty good. I actually ended up liking it more towards the end once I got like more into the story. I understand the hype, and I get why it kind of has that like old school contemporary fiction feeling of just like, you know, it gives you kind of like the Little Women vibe. Just, it kind of gives that vibe. It's like a mother telling her 3 daughters the story of her life in like theater and being in like films and being an actress and everything. And it was very interesting, and the character complex characters and a slow-paced story for me. I didn't feel like I was that immersed into the story, or like I really cared that much. But once I finished the book and I was like, oh, like something was just missing for me with this book. I don't know what it was. Like it was an interesting story, and I like the storytelling vibe. I like the vibe of the mom telling her 3 daughters. I feel like the names of the characters got kind of confusing for me for some reason, because like she played Emily in the play, and then her daughter's name was also Emily. And this book, to me, just as soon as I finished it, I was like, this book should just be a movie. Like I feel like this book, like there's just certain books that are better as movies or TV shows adaptations. I don't think this should be a TV show though. I think it should be a movie for sure. I think it would like thrive as a movie way more than it does as a book. But also like it reminded me of when I read One Day, and I was just like, this is just not it. Like it's just so much better as a show or as a movie or whatever adaptation. So I'm really hoping that they do that, because I would love to watch it as a movie. And I still liked it as a book. I don't think it was like, I think it would just be really good as a movie. Anyway, I'm done saying that. later now. It's probably been like 2 or 3 hours. I cleaned a little bit and I did some like laundry and sweeping and stuff. Just like random stuff around my house. And then I kind of procrastinated for a while. I did my journaling and just like some random stuff. I did sit outside for a little while after my walk. And I read Lucy Undying, just a little bit of it. I was already probably like 17 chapters in. I got to chapter 23, 24. So I'm not too far into it. I'm on page 81. So I still have quite a bit left of this book, and I don't think that I'm going to probably read that much more tonight. But I just randomly decided that I wanted to read something like quick, because it just felt like so much to like get into this book today, especially when I already like read another book today and finished it. So it just felt like a lot, and I didn't want to feel like slumpy, or like I wanted to read, but I didn't know what to read. I wanted to read something like quick and easy, because I've been reading like a lot of fantasy or like heavier topic books. Anyway, you guys don't care, but I decided to pick up one of my little mangas that I had on that bottom shelf out there, and I forgot that I even had this, but it is My Gently Raised Beast. This is volume 1. I thrifted it randomly. It looked pretty interesting. It's about this girl who's like, she's like this low-born girl. She's living on the streets. Her mother has died. She doesn't know who her father is. So she ends up going to try and sell this ring that her mom gave to her. And when she goes, the like pawn shop man is like, oh my gosh, wait, like this is the ring. And he goes and he like gets the king, and the king comes in and he's like, I'm your father. But he's like very like not friendly with her. And it just kind of at her as she goes to live in this kingdom, and she's actually a princess and she had no idea. She ends up meeting this cat who's like actually this like panther, and they don't get along with humans. Anyway, it's a lot of deep lore. I think it's like pretty good. It seems, I feel this way with a lot of mangas, but the writing and the vibe is like a little bit immature feeling, and it's kind of like cringy. But it was kind of interesting. It's interesting. It feels a little immature again, but I'm glad that I was able to just read something light and quick, and it was fun. So I have more cleaning and stuff to do, and then I'm probably just gonna chill for the rest of the night. Mac is about to be off work, and I'm just gonna wind down, change into some PJs, finish my laundry, take a shower, take off my makeup, all the things, just really wind down and have a good night. I might end up starting another book, and I have to go back to work tomorrow, so that's sad. But anyway, thank you guys so much for spending the weekend with me. It was really fun to do a little vlog, the end of my weekend vacation. And I got a lot of reading done. I want to say I read like 3 or 4 books over the past couple days. So I feel really good. I feel great about it. It is currently the 12th of January, and I have read 11 books. So I've read almost a book a day. Not really, because I've like a couple of days I've read like 2 books, and obviously the 11th book was a manga. So like I'm not trying to say that I'm doing anything revolutionary over here, but it has been really nice to read a lot of books. I'm incredibly blessed that I was able to be on vacation and have a lot of time to read, and that I feel like I was in a lot of a book slump in 2024. So it just feels really good to be able to get back into reading and like really enjoying it and wanting to read all the time and wanting to read a lot of books and make a lot of progress on my TBR. Because again, guys, I have so many books, so many bookshelves, so many things to read. So I'm really excited to get into it and just have a really good reading year. So anyway, thank you for watching this little vlog. If you guys aren't subscribed and you want to see more of my videos, more of my vlogs, more of my content, see how many books I read this year, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!